Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Geometry Concepts. In this episode, I'll be showing you how to make weight blocks. If you didn't catch how they worked in the preview, it's pretty simple. They're blocks that you can slide over normally, but if you collide with one while you're falling, it'll break. I'll admit that it's a little glitchy. Lots of the time 3 blocks will break instead of the 1 or 2 you collided with, but I tried a few different things, and this is all that happened. So I haven't really found a way to fix it yet, but you guys can try to fix it if you want. Anyway, making these was a lot more simple than I originally thought it would be. All it really requires is toggle triggers. So as always, we'll begin by making basic gameplay for the level. I'm just going to use them in a very generic way, but you can be more creative with them if you like. Next, choose a block for them to be made out of. I chose this block in the preview because I thought it was fitting, although I'll get into the design aspect later. All that really matters is that it's a solid block. Next, add each block to its own group. In this tutorial, I use groups 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now it's time to add the triggers in. It's easiest if you go to a different layer to do this. Start by putting a toggle trigger inside of the first block. Set the group to that of the block which you placed the trigger on top of. I added this block to group 1, so I set this trigger to group 1 as well. Then, enable the touch triggered option. Now, repeat this for each weight block that you've placed down. Let's test it to see how things are going so far. As you can see, the blocks disappear, except not exactly when we want them to. If you try to slide over them normally, they'll break instead of remaining solid. Fixing this is pretty simple as well. First, start by adding all of the triggers to a group. In this example, I used group 5. Then, use a toggle trigger to toggle that group off. It doesn't matter where you place the toggle trigger as long as it's before you encounter the first weight block. Now that we've disabled the triggers, we need a way to turn them back on if the player jumps. I thought it would be difficult to detect when the player jumped, but again, I was surprised about how easy the solution was. To do it, place a toggle trigger 2 blocks above the second weight block, not the first, the second. Set the group to 5 and tick the Activate Group box. Lastly, enable the touch triggered option. Now, copy and paste the trigger so that there is a duplicate of it 2 blocks above every weight block, except the first. When you're done, it should look like this. Now, we're pretty much done. To finish things up, let's make another clone of the touch trigger. Place it on top of the first weight block, then move it left 1 square and up 1 square. Lastly, go into the Edit Object menu and uncheck the Activate Group option. Now, we're done, so we'll test the level a final time. Now that we've created the weight blocks, let's talk about design. I haven't included the design portion in my previous concept videos, but I think I should start doing it. So let's talk about how I designed this thing. I think it looks best to take this block, and then find this object, rotate it 45 degrees, duplicate that, rotate the duplicate 90 degrees, and then duplicate the X shape that you should now have. Then, put the X shape on top of the block. Now you have a block with an X shape on it, which is the design I used in the preview. There are other ways to make X shapes, this is just the one I tried. Another thing you can do is overlay a down arrow shape on top of the block. And, if you feel like getting really fancy, you can make a particle effect when you break it. I didn't do that though, because I didn't really want to build or explain it. Anyway, that is how you make a weight block. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. First of all, a viewer that goes by the name of Dark Matter made a level using the 2 jump orbs I've covered thus far. You can check it out using the level ID on screen. Also, I want to make a Terraria video, but I don't really have many ideas, so if you have some Terraria related content you want to see, then share it in the comments below. Also, I know my upload schedule has been bad lately, but there's nothing I can really do about that, so don't expect it to improve, sadly. I am working on a level dissection though, although I'm not making any promises on when that'll be done.
Cue the end screen.
First, I'll give you 10 seconds to check out the other 2 videos of the series if you feel like it. There's also a subscribe button, but I'm not going to force you to click on it or anything. Okay, it's been 10 seconds. Now I'll encourage you to click on this video, where I cover stuff that will be added to the 2.2 level editor. Okay, bye, have a nice day.